Come on! Just stop moving, for Christ's sake!
House is a film I've known about forever, but I hadn't seen it before. The amazing poster art for the sequels adorned my local video rental shop. A lack of TV screenings and not knowing anyone with a copy kept it beyond my grasp for so long. Not to mention, I wasn't willing to take a risk on shelling out for the Anchor Bay DVD box set. Roger Cobb, played by William Catt, is a troubled author, almost certainly based off Stephen King. After finding out his auntie hung herself, he moves into her house and has weird visions that could be flashbacks. While struggling with writer's block, he starts writing a platoon-style Vietnam War epic, which bizarrely is a film within a film. House is one I always thought was a knockoff of Amityville. It's not really. It does bear more than a similarity to Lucio Fulci's House by the Cemetery, with the monster in the closet, demons of the mind theme, although House by the Cemetery opts for a locked basement instead. House is a comedy horror that is that rare beast of being funny where comedy horror films go wrong. Is a lot simply aren't funny beyond the original concept. Teeth and Happy Death Day to You are rarely enjoyable, but more fun than funny. There are films that get the balance right, like Evil Dead, Brain Dead, Dead Alive, Night of the Creeps, and Reanimator. But comedy horror films are few and far between, often focusing more on the comedy, like Scary Movie and Repossessed, and not rarely delivering to die-hard horror fans beyond the obvious references. We also have films that are funny because they are simply plain bad, like Troll 2 and Leprechaun. Worst of the bunch, we have films aiming for instant cult status that aren't sincere and are an uneven mix of horror, comedy, and unknowingly schlocky. Us, Insidious, and Lesbian Vampire Killers. House is great fun, with monsters straight out of Jim Henson's Bad Acid Trips. It actually gets the balance of comedy and horror right, with William Catt, Kay Lenz, and George Wendt from Cheers taking it seriously and understanding the material. The cinematography is by Sweden's late great Mac Ahlberg, who greatly elevates the production values. He weaved magic on a lot of Stuart Gordon's films, including Reanimator and The Beyond. He even did cinematography for The Brady Bunch and The Wonder Years. Not mentioned on the director's commentary for House is he got his big break directing Swedish skin flicks like Flossie, which is mediocre but a nice looking, romantically shot film to rival Emmanuelle, and XXX rated Bellamy, which is regarded as a classic of the genre. It has to be said, the film isn't a parody. Much like films like Evil Dead and even Nightmare on Elm Street, they subvert the horror film conventions and add a little spice to the mix to create something that goes against audience expectations, and it went against mine. A real surprise, as being genuinely funny with a script that is knowingly silly while still being sincere. The creature effects might look a bit cheesy now, but they would have looked a whole lot worse had they been CGI graphics, and the skeleton cum zombie soldier looks totally cool. Had Kenner released a toy line, I totally would have bought the action figure. Horror-wise, there is enough suspense and scares, but it might be a lot less violent than viewers expect. It's definitely not a gore fest. It far exceeded my lowly expectations, and I can heartily recommend this film. The film was a huge success for New World and made its meagre $3 million budget back sevenfold. The House series has 4 entries so far, with a reboot of the first film in the pipeline and set for a release next year.
You must be lonely.
Well, I appreciate the company, Tanya, but, I'm kind of busy right now.
Oh, no, don't be silly. I understand. I can tell when a man wants to work. I can also tell when a man wants to play.